Well, what's your what's your plans?
I'm ready for NFP. I'm gonna chill on the charts, bro.
Oh, it's just hitting now, innit?
Oh shit.
There goes
Bro just
gold.
slapped.
Yup,
Nah, when I mean slapped, bro, like
I know.
ridiculous. That was literally like 100, bro.
It's looking like it's gonna slap back up, bro.
I know, but that's why you don't trade the news, man. I'm rocking stage. I got too much drama, too many problems about to get faded. Even GU, bro, that ain't deep enough retracement from that, bro. Just P.
EU looks like it's gonna go for those highs.
Yeah.
Mm.
NFP was worse than no, yeah, worse than expected.
Dollars crashed down. This is looking peak, bro. Dollar's been on a madness, absolute madness.
Chill. So it was looking good last week.
You know, dollar was really looking like it could do something.
Dollar was looking like it was on a tear last week, and then all of a sudden it's cooked. It's peak, bro.
Alright, bro. I'm gonna be on here for like an hour.
Alright, sound.
Alright, cool. Yeah. Yes, guys. Alright, so we're live for NFP. Just trying to see what the data for the dollar is going to be on. Okay, so forecasted 190, previous 118. So NFP was in fact worse than expected. No, NFP was better than expected, but unemployment is higher. Okay, so even though they've created more jobs, there's actually been more unemployment in the US at the moment. Okay, so at the moment we are getting the dollar pushed back down. Trying to see what the dollar wants to do for the rest of the week. But even though the dollar is coming down, it doesn't mean it's going to close like this. So obviously in the morning I did mention to you guys like, look, even if the dollar does come down off of the weekly time frame, if we can get a closure inside the imbalance or above the imbalance, then it's still potentially on the cards. Okay, gold has finally broken above the high here. 2368, 2369 ish. Okay. So we're definitely on a madness. All right. So if you are watching the live stream right now, feel free to, of course, say hello. Go to the chat box. Say hello. Alright, so right now, let's just anticipate what price is gonna do. Go to the chat box, say hello, have a conversation with me. What pairs are you guys looking at? Yes, Gift, how you doing, my bro? You good? Let's see what Bitcoin's doing as well. Okay, Bitcoin hasn't really reacted out of that news. That's fine. How's the stream? Can you guys hear me well? Stream is good. Amazing. Cool. Not bad, bro. Yourself? Yeah, I'm well, bro. I'm well. Thank you for asking. I thought I'd give you guys a live stream. It's been a while. Let's have a quick hour. Do you know what I mean? Have a look at market. See if you guys got any questions, any pairs that you want me to look at, etc. But kind of the main thing for NFP at the moment is like, look, yeah, we've seen price wick up. If I go to the 1 minute, we've seen the wick up, we've seen price slam back down, but it doesn't mean that dollar isn't going to start pushing up again. We've been coming down for most of the week. I kind of want to see how this week's candle is going to close. The next week, we should have a little bit of a clearer direction as to what price wants to do. So we'll just work with that. Gold. See, now that gold is actually taking out that daily high there, like I wouldn't be surprised if gold actually starts to give us some sells. I would not be surprised. This wick is crazy. This is an absolutely bonkers wick. That's what is that? 270 pips. Like gold will rinse you if you are watching gold at the wrong time. So EU is still okay. It's pulled back a little bit. Fair enough. Kind of dipped into this 4 hour candle. It's crazy, bro. Gold is moving mad. Trust me. Gold is ridiculous. Yes, what's happening? What's happening? Everyone in the live right now, drop a like in the live. Come say hello. Let's have a conversation. What are you looking at the moment, Gift? Are you watching gold as well? What are you watching? What pairs are you watching at the moment? Wow, look at gold. If gold is gonna start coming down, then this wick here would be a target. You know, looking at You know how the dollar is currently printing, it does look like it wants to head higher. Okay, probably might get a pullback down, work ourselves inside this 1 minute imbalance, get another push up, take out this high, or we take out the high first, then pull back. So for gold, maybe potentially anticipate some moves coming out of this 1 minute candle here. Okay, could be an entry from here. Obviously, this is more of a high risk entry. Like, yeah, you don't mind going for it. This is something that I would look at. Potentially target this wick as an easier, clearer target. Might be worth, placing a little something, something there, a little something, a little 0.25, a little zero point 0.5 risk. Unless if you got a play account, then, you can try and do something there. But, conditions are still low probability. But if I, if I wanted to do something or try something, that's what I would look at. Even the way Euro USD is holding at the moment, it's still giving me indication like, gold may actually, sorry, not gold, the dollar may actually lose some strength. So I'm trying to monitor. Gift says trying to dig gold. Oh, we always, bro. Wow, look at USD JPY on the 15 minute. Okay, if I were to sell gold, this is a good sign. Yeah, this is so far the only thing I see for gold. In terms of even attempting to short gold, I don't think is the best idea ever. But remember, we don't have to catch the first move. We can wait to catch the backside move. So, the second entry, the third entry, it doesn't have to be the first move. Obviously, if you guys are inside the live right now, talk with me inside of the chat box. Come say hello. I'd like to meet you all. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay. All right. So gold is pushing up at the moment. We've got the dollar inside this 1 minute imbalance, like I said to you guys earlier. So let's see how price wants to work inside this area here. Okay, let's see. Like if we don't hold this area and we start dropping, then there's a high probability of the dollar continuing to drop lower. The next hour candle or this hour candle closes in about 17 minutes, 16, 17 minutes, give or take. Bitcoin is not doing much. What's USD JPY doing? It's pulling back a little bit. UJ on the 1 hour. Okay, it's got a pretty nice 1 hour candle here with imbalance. What's gold doing? Gold is pulling up. Okay, so let's see. Let's see for gold. This area doesn't look like it's gonna hold. But this is the thing, that's why we don't trade news releases. It's good to monitor and watch them live, just to see how price is reacting, to see if you were potentially correct in your analysis or where price is potentially heading to next. But I wouldn't necessarily say it's an environment where you want to, take entries and take positions. Okay. I'm guessing deja vu, feel like we've been here before, lol. Yeah, gift, I'm telling you. Gold does this. Gold does this a lot. You know, USD JPY, to be honest with you guys, on this time frame, this hourly time frame, the structure here is bearish, right? It is bearish. You know, there's just no indication for the time being of what price wants to do. So we have pushed lower. We've pushed beneath that imbalance that I just showed you guys a second ago. Let's see. Let's see what price wants to do. Oh, look at that gift. Yeah, still got life. Still got life. Still got life in this move. Let's see what the dollar's doing. I want to keep monitoring USD JPY as well. Monitoring gold. Like, as soon as the NFP data was released, all my alerts for gold were hit at the exact same time. All of them. I had alerts for the highs, I had alerts for the lows, and as you can see, we ran the lows, we ran the highs, you know, both ways. Let's see what UJ wants to do, guys. What else do we have for the rest of today? Okay, so at 4, so next 2 hours 15 minutes, give or take, we do have the Fed monetary policy report. Okay, this is a high impact news as well, so price may just kind of mess around till then. Gift says not entered yet, but set SL at 23.74. Let's see if it gets hit or not. 23.74. Oh, so you did enter. Not entered yet. Okay, so you're just monitoring, yeah? I mean, if you're monitoring, let's see. Like, to be honest, I have no idea how this is gonna go. You know, like I said to you, if I were to find a potential entry or try to make a move happen, then this is what I would do, really. This is what I would do. From a daily perspective, what is the storyline? What is the reason? We ran these daily highs, Friday, 21st of June's highs, which was the target earlier. That high is also um, the week starting 17th June's high as well. So that's the weekly high that we ran as well. So ideally, if we are to get a retracement or a rejection from grabbing that liquidity would be warranted. Okay, so that's kind of what we're looking at the moment, and that's the why I would even think about shorting gold. And to be honest with you, it is kind of holding at the moment. It is kind of holding at the moment. Okay, so we'll just see if we are onside or offside. I really like the picture USD JPY is forming at the moment here. It does look progressive for UJ to potentially create a new high. Okay, it is progressive, and if UJ does that, then we should ideally see gold come for this low here at 2365.1. Okay, that's the low that we should see, and I'm also monitoring this area as well. I want to see if we can get a push out of this imbalance. If we get a push out of this imbalance here, we can get a test, and then at this test I would anticipate, okay, potentially going short on gold. Okay, so that's kind of the picture that I'm seeing forming at the moment. Okay, it's still not high probable, I'll be completely honest with you guys, but the picture is building slightly better now. Um, Even look at UJ, it's really going for it. So gold should be coming down. Okay, dollar's pushing out of the imbalance now. Alright, alright, alright. I'm going to take a very, very light position. When I'm saying light, I mean very, very light position on gold. I'm gonna see if I'm onside or offside. So there's gonna be a very, very light position. Alright, I'm gonna place my SO 74 on the dot, and let's see how that plays out. Okay, I'm locked in on that position there. Gift says he's monitoring. Okay, cool, bro. I'm trying to see how this is gonna play out. I'm still kind of consolidating. I'm trying to see if gold wants to drop from here or not. Okay, UJ does look like it wants to push up higher as well. So let's see. Could we potentially be pulling back? Maybe testing this candle here and then going off again? Or is price hitting this half hour, sorry, not half hour, this 30-second candle and wanting to take out the low? So let's monitor and let's see how it goes. But for the time being, that's the picture at the moment. Okay. So I'm trying to see, even if the dollar is coming down, is it going to test this area here and then start rallying again? That is a potential. That is a potential. Gift asked if I entered. Yes, bro. I entered a very, very small position. I have entered gold. Yes, I have entered gold. Off of this setup here, I have entered gold. Yes. Okay. I think it could probably give us a little bit of a move, from watching the dollar's price action, watching USD JPY's price action, and also watching currently gold and the area that is bang out of. I think we can get a small move. So I am currently in this position. Yes. Okay, so we've pulled down on the 1 minute. We have in fact tested this area here. And the candle is printing up at the moment, so we'll see. We'll see, we'll see. But here's the thing, you can't even get too ahead of you, you know what I mean? But the setup is looking pretty decent. The setup is looking pretty decent. It is moving. Gold is moving. Yep, USD JPY is about to take out that high as well. DXY is kind of faltering though. It's not really trying to do anything. Let's see how this goes. But I do like gold for a short more than a buy if I had to pick a side. And I like the DXY's price action right now. I like the DXY and USD JPY's price action at the moment. Okay, we've pulled back down, we worked into that area. We are now starting to push up. It's not, an aggressive push up. It doesn't have to be, but we're seeing it, continue for the time being. So we'll keep monitoring, keep monitoring. Monitoring we shall. Who in your like Star Wars? Anyone? We monitoring, monitoring, monitoring. Let's see. So it looks like dollar just wants to chill in this area. Let's see how it goes, my peeps. Is this area going to be invalidated? Let's see. That's a pretty strong engulfing candle being printed on the 1 minute for gold. Okay. USD JPY could push down, print back down lower prices around here and go again. It is a possibility, but let's see. DXY dollar can give us a push out the same area again. Let's take our time. Okay, so for gold, let's see how that 1 minute candle closed. This is a pretty strong candle. This might take us out of the trade. So let's just see. See, this is why I said I'm putting only a very, 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 very light position, you know? A very, very, very light position. Let's see how it progresses. Bitcoin is now at 55,100 for Bitcoin. 55,100. So it's coming down ever so slightly. Nothing too major. Okay, it's like price is just moving sideways right now, guys. Mm, okay. Looks like dollar wants to push down. Yep. Looks like dollar wants to print lower. Look at that. Look at that 15-minute candle. Could this be the high of the 15-minute? And if we close somewhere down here, the next 15-minute could pull up a little bit and then continue to drop to fill out this wick down here. Okay, that's a very good possibility. So what I'm going to do for the dollars, I'm going to anticipate and monitor how this 15-minute candle is going to close and how the hourly candle is going to finish printing. Okay. You know, when you are looking at the markets, you need to be very light on your feet, adapt to the changing tides. Let's see what happens with this gold move. Let's see. All right, this gold move here. Cool. Let's see what else. What else can we get out of this move? Now, if gold is going to keep pushing up, for example, right, then the next target is going to be Friday, 7th of June's daily high, which is 2387.2. That's going to be the next target. Why is this not deleting? Okay, cool. What's very interesting is just how USD JPY is still printing. You know, in comparison to the likes of the dollar. Because now with the price action that we're getting, obviously I've said it to you guys a moment ago, it just screams bearish to me now. You know, before there was potential bullish price action, but it just didn't continue. So let's see. Now, in terms of the 15-minute candle closure, it's not as bearish I want it to be. I want it to be a bear candle, but that 15-minute candle has pushed up a little bit. The new one that's just opened, and low key, it looks like it might come for this wick. Could we have gotten in to gold with this imbalance play here? Is it possible? Maybe. Are we gambling? A little bit. But remember, guys, we're not placing any positions. The only positions I've placed so far is on that gold move, and it was a very, very small, negligible position. So we're not taking any serious positions for the time being. But for example, if price does test into this area again, is potential for shorts. Sorry, not shorts, for longs. Okay, if the dollar is going to come down for the most recent 15-minute low, right, and then the NFP news release is low, then gold should continue to push up. All right, US equity funds. US equity index futures slightly green. June on-farm payroll 260K versus 190K. The main US equity index futures are slightly positive but roughly flat with where they were after news release of the latest data on US employment. E-mini S&P futures are up around 0.1%, roughly unchanged just before the data came out. The June non-farm payroll headlines jobs numbers came in at 206K, which was slightly above the estimate. Okay. Wage data on a month-on-month and year-over-year basis was in line with estimate. Both of these numbers were below last month's read. Of note, the prior headline jobs for May was revised down to 218K from 272K. According to CME's FedWatch tool, the probability that the FOMC sits its hand and leaves rates unchanged at its July 30 to 31st meeting has risen slightly. Okay. Interesting. It's now 95% to 91% just prior to the release of the numbers. The chance that the Fed cuts the rates by 25 basis points is now 5% versus 9%. Wow, okay. So even though there's talks of the interest rates being cut, it looks like the sentiment is now to not cut it. I mean, 9% was already a pretty low chance anyways, but now it's 5%, it's an even lower percent. So that's interesting. Looking further into 2024, the market is still showing a bias for rates to tick down 25 basis points in September and then again in December. The conviction over those cuts, however, has increased. The US 10-year Treasury yield is now around 4.32% versus 4.33% just before the payroll data was released. The yield ended at 4.35% on Wednesday. Changes are relatively modest, but most of the S&P 500 sector SPDR ETFs are higher in pre-market trade with consumer discretionary up around 0.4%, posting the biggest rise. Okay. Regarding the jobs data, the manufacturing can't just catch a break. Employment was flat and narrow, with only 45.8% of manufacturing industries reporting job gains. Within construction, a bright spot in this report, it was mostly non-residential specialty trade contractors that saw the gains. Okay, that's a nice little read there, guys. Ooh, okay. Dollar's pushing back up. Interesting. Very, very interesting. USD JPY's picture is still holding that bullish picture. The dollar has come down. Sorry, gold has come down a little bit more. But that's very interesting, guys. Okay. Okay. I mean, let's see. Let's see how this 15-minute candle wants to close. Is it going to close bullish? I can't say. Is it going to close bearish? I can't say. You know, we had a bias a second ago, right? This is a prime example of why you don't trade the news. Okay, you just don't do it because I had the bias that we should see bullish price action. We saw bullish price action momentarily, then we slammed back down. And now we're seeing bullish price action again. It's unpredictable, guys, and its nature with these high impact news events. If you haven't caught or entered positions prior, then there's no real need for you to enter positions now. Ritesh, yo, bros, what's happening, Ritesh? You okay? How you doing, my bro? We're just going through some of the high impact news for NFP. You missed a little bit, but it's all good. You're here now. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, now look, if I had to pick a side, I would say bullish on gold, bearish on the dollar. If I had to pick a side, but then again, it's so 50-50. If I had to pick a side, it would be for this to come down. And even from reading the economic data, even with the high impact news, yes, we created, you know, sorry, hold on. NFP is 206. Okay, so this is actually ideally negative for the dollar. And the only reason why I say this is, look, the actual data. Let me pull it up on this screen here so that you guys can see. Is it gonna show me? Hold on. I'm pretty sure there's a news section somewhere. Da, 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 da. It's not showing me the news. Oh, and news. Where's the news section? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so what did we have? I'll explain to you on my other screen here as well, right? So NFP, right? Let me tell you guys, non-farm payroll measures the change in number of people employed during the prior month, excluding workers in the farming industry. Given that full employment is one of the Federal Reserve's mandates, it is very closely watched. A reading that is stronger than forecasted is generally supportive, aka bullish, right, for the dollar, while a weaker than forecasted reading is generally negative for the dollar, right? Now stay with me, stay with me, stay with me for a second, guys. So the data, right? The forecasted data was 109, 191k, 191k. The actual data was 206k. So remember what I just told you guys, right? If the reading is stronger than forecasted, is generally positive, right? So if NFP measures the number of employed people during the prior month, right? Obviously, if there's more people employed in an economy, in a country, it's good, right? So, like I said, the forecasted data and the actual data is higher than the forecasted data. So, realistically, it's a positive. Okay, it's actually realistically positive for the dollar. However, when you take a look at the previous data, right, the previous data that came out months prior, the previous data was 218k. So previous month's data was actually better than this month's data. So yes, the data in terms of the reading that we got just now is better than forecasted. It's actually not better numbers than what we've had before, right? So if we've not had better numbers than what we've had before, does that really truly mean the dollar, like this news is actually positive for the dollar? Do you understand what I'm trying to say, guys? You've kind of got to think about it. Does it really mean it's positive for the dollar? And in my opinion, of course, there's going to be so many different factors that go into the market, especially sentiment. Someone can get this exact same information as me. I will view it as negative. However, another, analyst or investor will see as positive. But for me, this data is negative for the dollar. I don't see why the dollar would be strong. Maybe we can get brief or short term live strength, right? But it's not going to be strength where it's like, okay, it should continue to last, right? Because it's the data, yes, it's better than forecasted, but it's actually worse than the previous data that we've had. Yes, it's better momentarily, but overall, in the long run, we're not actually doing well, right? Cool. I hope you guys understood that. Let me know inside the comment section, the chat box, if you understood what I mean by that. And if you took some value from what I've been trying to obviously say to you guys, just drop a like on the live and, of course, subscribe. Next is the unemployment rate. Okay, it's pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory, right? But I'm gonna explain it anyways. Oh, look at gold. It's off it goes, right? So these are all factors, right, that I'm going to take into account when I am looking at high impact news, when I am trying to understand the overall bias of where I should go, whether it's a buy or a sell. If I am looking at seeing, okay, when I said to you guys, look, I can look at it from a technical perspective and have, my own analysis and my judgment off of what price is telling me, but from analyzing data and then seeing the current type of price action that we're getting, then it's like, okay, cool. If I had to say a gun to my head, I would like to see lower prices, for example. Okay. Now, the next data that came out was US unemployment rate. Okay. The unemployment rate measures the percentage of total workforce that is not working, yet actively seeking employment. Okay. A reading that is higher than the forecasted is generally negative, aka bearish, for the dollar, while a lower than forecasted reading is generally supportive, aka bullish, for the dollar. Now, the forecasted data was 4%. The actual data was 4.1%, so it's higher than the forecasted. So it's negative for the dollar. Now, when you look at the previous data from the previous month was 4% also. So not only is it worse than forecasted, it's also worse than the previous data that was released. So not only is NFP, short term lived is better, but long term is worse for the dollar. But then also the US unemployment rate is also higher than expected. So ideally, realistically, if you are working just based off of the fundamental data alone, then the dollar should drop. We should see a weak dollar. Okay. Now, whether then here comes the next kind of question you got to ask yourself, because how the market will react to the data is not always as black and white, in the sense that price is not just going to drop all the time straight away. We might not necessarily see the effects of negative. Let's say, for example, right, today, the rest of today, we see the dollar rally up. I don't think it will, but let's just say we see the dollar rally up for the rest of today. But then we see later on, late night, maybe even potentially into next week, we actually see the dollar continue its weakness, right? And the effects of price doesn't always come straight away. It can be on the backside of the move, right? Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Okay. Put a thumb up emoji in the chat if you understand what I'm saying to you. Put some thumbs up emojis in the chat if you understand. Okay. So look, like this setup here, originally, we were looking at some shorts. Those shorts, they didn't work out, and that's fine, right? We're now seeing gold continuing to rally, right? Looking at USD JPY, USD JPY did look very bullish a second ago. Okay, it's come down a little bit, fine, fair enough. Okay, now the dollar is not really making its mind up. I'll be completely frank with you guys. It's not really making its mind up. But from us, Gift says he understood. Okay, Ritter says good, thanks. And you, Yes, I was at the gym. Okay, okay, you gotta get it in. You gotta get it in, Ritesh, you know? Gotta get it in. Gift says, yeah, I understood, makes sense. Okay, perfect. Richard says in the middle. In the middle of what? I don't understand, bro. Let me know. Anyways, so the dollar, I'd like to see the dollar back at these highs. So yeah, let me know what you guys are looking at the moment. Anyways, guys, I think I'm probably gonna call the stream there. I just wanted to get in a quick hour with you. In terms of everything that we've covered, I hope you've taken a little bit something out of it. To of course, obviously help you with the fundamental side of things. Um, yeah, don't worry, Ritesh. We'll have some more live streams, and obviously when we start, we'll go through a lot of the stuff, and it will all make sense. So don't you worry too much about it. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys for joining me on today's live stream. Obviously, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you are new. Turn on that post notification so that in case if I do one of these pop-up live streams, you do not miss out for next time. Other than that, always remember the theory behind the practice. And thank you for watching, guys. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time. Peace.